This is Take 5 with Scott at Hucks, Episode 7.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephen Bull, host of Waterways TV, and this is my friend Scott McCrimmon. Scott, we spoke at the Toronto International Boat Show and did a couple quick videos. I think it went pretty well.
Same, and that kind of was the impetus to why I thought, let's reach out and let's give the customers another platform to maybe learn and talk a little bit more about boats. And in fact, ironically, I'm on the exact same boat that we chatted about, the new Boston Whaler 210 Vantage that was at the show last year. So reached out, gave you a call and said, hey, can we format something that keeps our customers updated on what we're up to at Hucks? And here we are.
I'm lucky enough to travel all over North America, and I honestly believe that you guys have one of the richest histories in the entire boating world. But for those who don't know, tell us, what is Hucks?
What is Hucks? Hucks is Hucks Marine and Resort, and we're located down in the Thousand Islands, the beautiful Thousand Islands in Eastern Ontario. So I've been here about 30 years, and the marina, though, has been here a little over 136 years. And for the first 130 years, it was better known as Ed Huck Marine, a fourth generation marine business. They built wooden boats, and through the generations actually cast motors to power those boats back at the turn of the century. So long history here at Hucks. The marina was older and it was in need of some new buildings and kind of some redevelopment. And so that's kind of what we've embarked on over the last 5 to 6 years with brand new buildings. We've added some bigger product groups. We're Tierra, we're Boston Whaler, we're Harris, Regal. So we've kind of gone and found the tier 1 brands within the boat industry, if you will. And then the next step of that, and what the resort alludes to in the name, is we're building a residential community of 30 condos next door, starting perhaps as early as this winter. So what happens here in season is we typically have a great selection of all of those brands I mentioned. We don't have them all. We can't possibly stock everything. And what happens in the boat show world is the larger boat shows, the manufacturer steps in and they put a manufacturer's display together. And I'll give you an example. The upcoming Fort Lauderdale Boat Show next week, Tierra and Whaler and Regal are going to put almost everything they build, almost all of the models in one place, and in this case in the water, which is even cooler. It's another world when you get down there, for sure. The whole sales crew goes. Blaze, Mitch, and Michael. All 4 of us go down. We're there for the whole week. We spread out and represent, those brands that we talked about. We're in Tierra, we're in Regal, we cover Whaler.
Why are in-person shows so important still in 2024 and heading into 2025, well into the digital and YouTube era?
Yeah, great question, Steve. There's a few answers to that. First of all, most of the boating, or a majority of the boating, is done in regional areas. These marinas are in beautiful spots on, in some cases, remote lakes. The Muskokas, the Lake Simcoes, the Kawarthas, and in our case, Eastern Ontario and the St. Lawrence River, Thousand Islands. But those regional areas aren't really where the people live. They vacation there, and they often buy real estate here for the 12 weeks of season. But when they go home Labor Day or maybe Thanksgiving weekend, or Canadian Thanksgiving, when they're gone home, we don't get to see those people on a year-round basis. We get to see them when they're here playing. But the only other way to make sure that we can showcase our product and visit and maintain those relationships is to go to where they go in the winter. And we do try and prep people, wear running shoes, don't wear high heels, because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. Make sure you do grab one of those free bags, because you're going to end up collecting a whole bunch of stuff. But the funny part is you do need to stay focused. I mean, we need a mission. We need, a pretty defined mission as to why you're there, because there is everything from 20 to 200 feet of boat there. And you walk around with your head on a swivel. So the only thing I would say is you just may stay focused on the reason you're there. And maybe the reason you're there is to walk the docks, listen to Jimmy Buffett, have a cold beverage, and just feel the sunshine and enjoy the enthusiasm of the people around you. That might be the mission too, and that's fine. But ask the questions, and you got a big service team to back that up. Are you open year round to take care of all the things? Because you need a service team. You get to a boat on a Friday, and if it goes click at a 4 o'clock afternoon and the beach ball's under your arm, and that's the weekend the cousins and the company show up, you have a really, really good phone number that you can phone, and they're going to save your weekend. And so, the consumer, especially a new consumer, needs to know that buying the boat is half of it, and then making sure that you're getting a dealer that truly buys into supporting and taking care of you is the other half of that experience. And if we get that right as an industry, there's nothing better than investing in boating for your leisure time.
I will see you there at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, but for those of us who can't make it, how can they get in touch with you?
You could use Scott at marina.ca, and that's an email address that I had a brother-in-law that was very, very early to the internet and grabbed that. We also, of course, have Scott at hucks.ca. Either of those email addresses will get a response from me. And if you want some help getting into boating, there's nothing our whole team here enjoys more than introducing boating to a brand new boater.